What's going on, RV family? Tomorrow is a travel day. But we've been here in Port Aransas for a month, and so we've got a lot of stuff taken out. And so what we're gonna do today, since tomorrow's a travel day, is pack up as much as possible today to make tomorrow much easier, just to pull the slides in, hitch up, and go. One of the things that I discovered with both our girls have girls' bicycles, which if anybody remembers, the boys' bicycles had a straight bar across the top, and the girls always had like a curved down bar. This kind of a bike rack requires a straight bar to go across. So what I've had to do is use the bar that the girls' seat pole goes down. I don't like that, it's backwards. The tire or the wheel is blocking the ladder. Change it, go the other way. There we go. We're about ready to retire this bicycle. It's been through a lot. It's rusty and beat up. Kaylin loves it, but I want to get her something that's in a little bit better shape. She enjoys riding bike and skateboarding and roller skating. She doesn't do it all the time. Help her have a good, healthy childhood. I figured better have it. Kira just turned 8 not long ago. She's not out of training wheels yet. She's, I guess, a bit fearful that she won't be able to do well without the training wheels. She desperately wants a bigger bike, and I keep telling her that she needs one too because she's tall, but she's not ready to come out of the training wheels. I need to look up videos on YouTube on how to train a kid to ride a bike without training wheels. She has been riding her bike more since we've hit the road. When we were still living in a house, she just didn't seem to be interested. I'd be happy to buy her a bigger bike, but she's got to learn to ride without training wheels. I guess that's on me. We picked up a new scooter from our niece, gave it to Kaylin, and I'm wondering if I could connect it out here. Let's see. So this straight bar, I should be able to easily put it there. Then I just have to worry about this flapping in the wind. Pedals in the way. That should work. This bike rack is made for 4. We only currently have 2. Tanya and I do not currently have bicycles. We are toying with the idea of getting electric bikes. The company is Allen that makes this bike rack. I got it off of Amazon. Be happy to provide you a link down in the description. With the rear view camera on the RV, if there is a problem with the scooter flapping around, you'll be able to see it in the camera. There we go. I'll work on putting the Blackstone away. I'll use this table though. It's nice to fold up the Blackstone having a table there. All right, so we got this rain cover for the Blackstone. I'd say 90% of the time it stays on there, but some of these days we get enough wind, like this morning, just comes right off of there. If that 1 foot on the bottom hadn't have been on top of it, it would have taken off on us. So up here inside the outside kitchen, behind the TV, you've got this slightly annoying door that doesn't open all the way up. And I keep some items up here. I got a big cutting board. I've got some like hot sauce bottles, some of these lights.
Sup, Scribble?
So some glass and other heavy things. And what I do to help with traveling is I will put this up here to help kind of cushion and pad things from bouncing around all over the place. So I've got a slow cooker up here that has a lid that's domed upward. And if I dome it down, I can put that wad of plates up there. Hand soap I'm always worried about. Put paper towels up there to help with the glass. Just trying to cut down on any glass bouncing around and getting broken while we're traveling. Now I'm gonna move the paper plates down. This is where Tanya says I have a Lego mind. I think of it more as Tetris, but Tetris, Lego, I make everything situate just how it needs to situate so it doesn't move. Okay. So now we kind of free up the spot up here. I got a sponge, some hand soap. I don't know why I have a spare spoon. Now this fridge does not get power from the inverter while we travel, so this fridge will go off. So if you have things like cheese or meat or milk that's out here, you definitely want to take that inside. So there's another griddle in here, flat top, like a Blackstone, but not exactly the same. I've never gotten it to work. I need to play around with it more, but I've got the Blackstone, which is the 22 inch, which just works probably better than that one. Haven't bothered with it. Gotten to the point where I felt the need that I needed to run 2 of them. I did toy with the idea, I think that this drawer right here is the right size, that I could take that out and fit this in perfectly, but I'd have to make modifications to the drawer and things like that. And I would also lose the lid off the top. This lid is great for like when I'm baking chicken, and then I can close it down and hold more of the heat in to make sure the chicken gets cooked through. This blue tape is from Tanya. She'll tape down plastic over this before she starts doing paint pouring or resin pouring and try to protect things. So we wind up with blue painter's tape everywhere. From our last RV, our Avenger had the 2 stove burner top, and it had a propane line that came out, and I had bought this splitter that plugs in there, and then you can do 2 quick connects off of it. It's been pretty handy. Haven't really needed to split it. In order to put everything in there, I need to put the legs in first, because they'll go past this lip right here. But I have to have the grill off of there in order to do so. So it's always a little bit easier for me to be able to flip this up to put it away. So this kit we got from Blackstone, it came with this stand and it works great. However, I don't like the legs. I mean, they make it so that it's adjustable to make it level, but you have to like dig into the paint really hard with these twisty knobby thingies in order to make them stay. Otherwise, put some weight on them and they'll just scrape down the paint and the whole thing will collapse on you. So that'll go in there on top of the sink. And the Blackstone will fit right next to it. It's a perfect fit as long as you don't forget to take that basket off the back that catches the grease. We have this pop-out stepping stool. If you notice, I am 6'3" and I stand here and look at how high this counter is for the sink. Kira especially cannot reach the sink to wash her hands. Tanya can't even reach this lid to pull it down to close it. We had this stepping stool. We were keeping it in the pantry, but I think it's gonna travel out here now. That's pretty much it for this. I do still have a problem with this fridge door kind of popping open, and if there's anything in there, it kind of slides out and holds the door open. I'm going to turn the fridge all the way off. Nothing in here needs to stay cold, but I'm gonna get a baby proofing strap. I had done that on our last RV, the Avenger, and just kind of put it around the side so that when we're traveling, it'll keep it tight shut and will not fly open. So while we were staying in Port Aransas, we had our nieces nearby, the girls' cousins, whom they love so dearly. They came over and spent the night a few times. The girls still have kind of too much stuff in their room, and so in order to have someone spend the night, they needed to clear some space out. So while Tanya's art stuff was out of here, the girls' stuff, extra stuff from their room went in. They still don't see my point of view though, where I say, you've been without this for a few weeks, do you really need it? Some of this stuff I don't know, like this had the Nintendo Wii U, which is all hooked up. That was containers that were used to store that stuff while it was in storage, while we were transitioning from our small RV to the bigger one, and we didn't have the house. We're about to be near our storage unit again, so some of that right there, I'm thinking, nobody's touching it, nobody's using it, we might as well put it back in the storage unit for a little while and see how long we go, if we really need it or not. The side here, we put more, the lawn chairs, and then the girls' activity stuff like bike helmets, rollerblades, stuff we want to be able to quickly get access to. I'm just going to take this time, just take it all out, resituate it, make it good the way that we like it, and then put it back in. A very important accessory to any family that likes to be outdoors. Kaylin, Kira, come out please. Need you to get stuff for your room. Shoes. All this stuff on the top of the table needs to go back in your room. Here, this one's heavier, take that. Make sure to save the lighter stuff for Kira. Tanya wants to get a few more of these chairs. What are they called? Zero gravity chairs. It's been real popular. It is nice, I enjoy it. However, my long frame is a little bit uncomfortable in it. My feet are just a little bit too long, and so like the backs of my ankles kind of hang on the pole. So it's not as comfortable for me as somebody that's a little shorter than I am. But I think maybe we'll get one more. It's just the problem is it takes up a lot of space in there. These chairs are a little easier and faster to deploy, so I put those on top. So before we went to the air show, we needed another chair we could take with us that was easy to carry, because obviously the Zero G chair is not easy to carry. And I stopped by Walmart and I got this, and I'm loving it. The chairs, they used to be all 200 and 250 pound rated chairs. Thank you, girls. Daisy, you need to go back up, or you can chain her up if you want to. Why don't you chain her up since I'm out here? So this chair is an oversized meshed cooler chair. It is rated for 400 pounds. And what they've done is they've always seemed to have the two drink holders here, but they've added a cooler to this arm. You could easily get like 3 or 4 cans or maybe even some bottles. Look at that, I just noticed that. Didn't realize that till just now. A bottle opener attached to the inside of the cooler. Can you take that in? Thank you, Pika. Something I always do with these chairs, I don't like to lose the bags. I know other people have watched our videos and said, you keep the bags? Yes, I keep the bags. So when I set a chair like this up, I will put that strap around the back like that so it doesn't blow away. I like these ones that have some Velcro on the back. Yeah, you get a Velcro on the back and it can help hold it tight, which honestly, for the most part, keeps it pretty tight. But if you plan to go carry this somewhere, having these bags is really handy. Obviously this cooler, being a little bit newer, takes up a little more space, making it a little bit more frustrating to pack it up. We used to freeze water bottles all the time to take along in our coolers when we would tent camp. Might have to get back to freezing some bottles of water to put in there to be your cold part along with your other drinks. Now this chair we got last summer. In the warmer months, this is a little bit uncomfortable for the fact that this is like a blanket you're sitting on, not the mesh. So it's not breathable, it's warm. But the girls have loved it. It's been comfortable for me too. But it's cute to see the girls, they'll like ball up in this and be comfortable. Gives them kind of an indoor living room-esque feel while at the same time being outdoors. Since we like to go cook the outdoor kitchen and have everybody come sit outside and eat. And this one did not come from Walmart, this one came from Amazon. I will put a link in the description for this chair if you're interested. It may seem a little frustrating at the moment, but this one is probably one of the easiest ones to get in and out of the bag. It is a little heavier though because it's got the thick, heavy frame. Couldn't tell you off the top of my head what it's weight rated for, but if you click the link, I'm sure they'll tell you. You may find you're on the road on a long travel day, and it's just nice to, if you find a park or whatever with good sized parking, and people just they're getting on each other's nerves, it can be nice to pull over and say, hey, you know, let's just play a little ball for a few minutes, ride around on a scooter or a skateboard, just something to relieve the monotony of a long travel day. So having quick access to that type of stuff, a basketball, a soccer ball, a frisbee, any of that kind of stuff can help you have a more fun travel day. So if I can just open this panel and instantly have access to a basketball and a frisbee, it's great. Whereas like Tanya's art supplies, she's obviously not going to get out her art supplies for a 30-minute painting. You know, maybe that'll happen someday, but when that does, we'll change how we do things. The girls have been very active with the sidewalk chalk on this trip. Hi Daisy, you a good girl? Yeah. So we've got a little pop-out bed for her, but she doesn't seem to be using it at all. She just goes wherever the shade's at and lays down. Now she wants the belly rubs. Who's a good girl? Who's a good Daisy? Who's a good Daisy? Oh, you're a good Daisy. Who's a good Daisy? Oh. We let Kaylin pick out her own skateboard. Oh, it's getting rusted already. Being in these saltwater climates, stuff rusts quickly. So I try to stick with these same size tubs so that they can all fit. So that one there with the plastic sticking out, it's like Tanya's workspace where she can do her art in there. She can just put the lids on and clamp it down to try to cut down on wind blowing dust, dirt, leaves, bugs, try to keep them out of like her resin. She's had a number of items where she's made out of resin and she comes out and there's like a mosquito stuck in it. Tailgate of a truck is a great workbench. It's, especially this one as high as it is, it's just right for my height of 6'3". To avoid having to bend over and things like that, I will use that for things like taking this table apart or setting this table up. Cut down on my back problems of having to bend over and doing this kind of stuff right here. That's working pretty nice. In the past, I would always use WD-40 to lubricate everything, but now that I'm trying to take better care of the RV, I'm learning about silicone grease, white lithium grease. So I tried out the white lithium grease on this, and that has helped. White lithium grease is good for metal on metal connections. It's definitely closing up smoother. That wasn't too bad. So this is all Tanya's art stuff right here. So I've got this little light. It's magnetic. It has three different brightnesses. There's no lights up here at all. I'm gonna toy with keeping this up here. Question is, next time I need a light while I'm in there, will I remember I put it there? We'll find out.
I see you like masks. Come and join us on our quest for world domination. You would fit right into my program. What about snakes? Do you like snakes? Okay. Which way is the beach?
I got my black tank flush hose, and then I've got my freshwater connection. And if I'm not gonna do a flush today, then I've got no reason to leave this one hooked up, that's for sure. So we'll take that one out. I typically like to do dumping the black tank and flushing it out midweek, and it usually never falling on a travel day. So the hoses usually just live coiled up right there. Haven't had a problem with them flying away when we're traveling. Tanya's checking out some of her artwork. So they're coasters?
Yes.
What a cool pattern they have.
Yes, they are very cool.
The molds?
The molds. So what I did was I put mica powder on first, and then I filled it with colored resin. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. You're so creative.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh.
Back to our regularly scheduled program of packing up to go. So now we come down to the choice. I can fill up the fresh tank, and then Tanya can turn the pump on inside, which should be fine. We have an 80-gallon fresh tank, and then I can put away this hose now. Seems like a win-win situation, right? Let's do it. So to fill it up, you turn here and here to match the pattern for tank fill. And if you listen, you should hear water running. Now I'm gonna go check to see what the level is. Typically what I do is I don't disconnect this one. What I usually do is, on here I've got the filter and the pressure regulator, and I will disconnect this hose here and let that drip off out here into the grass and the weeds. It's funny how much weeds are being here for a month-long stay. Look at all the weeds that have overgrown the hose. They've had lawnmowers come out, but they don't want to mess with our hoses, so they don't. I can never remember the lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. It's easy to say lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, but then you think about, am I looking at it lefty-loosey, or am I looking at it lefty-loosey? Because then it gets totally turned around in your mind. So this is like the 0G brand hoses, but this was an Aqua Joe. You can get this at Walmart. It's rated for drinking. It was white. It is no longer. That's what happens when it sets out in the elements, especially the dirt. Fluids draining. It is time to go unhook black tank hoses, also known as stinky slinkies. If ever you had a good excuse to take off your wedding band, I suggest do it now. When I put on the rubber gloves, the ring typically has a problem. So when you've got a RV that has two black tank and gray tank connectors, you're typically gonna need something like this. This is the Y splitter. And this becomes a bit of a game / puzzle to try and disconnect these, because you take them off kind of in the wrong order and then you wind up dumping stuff all over the ground. So you try to be careful. Obviously your hopes are that you would have your black tank done already, and then you could wash it out with your gray tank. Because it's not so bad when it's like shower water with body wash and shampoo and bubbles going everywhere. Yes, that happens. I've literally had these hoses filled with bubbles after somebody took a shower. So I'm thinking the way to go, since I've got this dip down right here, and that one's kind of raised up, is I will go take this one off first. So that raised up type area can kind of gather the excess. Why do I sound nervous? I'm gonna stop moving the camera so I'm not wearing gloves today because I'm out. The key is get yourself prepared so you don't have to touch your face, touch your camera, touch your phone, so that you can go wash your phalanges. Now, if you can take it off with these gate valves on there like that, I have that closed, which will help prevent anything back leaking out. Now I can hold the hose up like that and let it all drain out. But I did forget one thing. I leave this gate valve on there, so I have to take that back off. See, I'm already making mistakes. That's what happens when you stay like for a full month. You forget what you did a month ago. I will leave the gate valve on there for now while I do the other one, prevent anything from backflowing out. I guess today I will be holding up both hoses until I see all the fluids rush out. Like I said, it's a game. You've seen games on Facebook telling you which one do I close first, which one do I open first, which cup will fill up with liquid first. Yeah, this is like that game in real life. Put the gate valve back in the right place. I've been traveling with one hose without a lid on it. Had a little bit of soapy water come out there. So around back, I have a container mounted to the bottom of the RV. I can shove a hose in. There's nothing else in there. I'm not stopping the camera or moving it because my hands are filthy right now. Now the hoses will not collapse completely if the air can't pass out of them. So you can't seal them up and then collapse them. You got to do your best to collapse them while they're opened. I would like to mount more storage containers for these underneath. So right now I only got one. You'll run into different size threaded sewer connections, and you're set up for large, medium, and small. Those will all screw on tight. If you run into it where it won't screw on tight, you've got this one. Tries to provide like a rubber gasket. Don't forget to close up your sewer hole. I really need to get a second one of these for my second hose. Help cut down on my hose, like having a spot where it sinks down too low. Something always wants to stick up too far. The camera can hear me talking right now. I came to wash my hands because I did black tank hoses. All right, so I pretty much got all the hoses taken care of except for this one. So I will just pull this back up into here.
Close the door on the bottom. Turn the light off. And we're pretty much done.
Haha. Not done. Just realized I left out the yellow Lego blocks. I suppose Lego will sue RVers for calling them Legos even though they're not Legos. Because they're not Legos. These things. Alright, now I'm done. So all we have left to do tomorrow, take the slides in, hitch up, unhook the power, and drive away. Makes a travel day all that much easier by taking care of this stuff early. So there we go. Packed up as much as we really could the day before. Hoses put away, Tawny's art stuff put away, chairs put away, Blackstone put away. And we'll have to resituate some stuff inside in the morning because we're still gonna sleep here one more night. But for the most part, this makes a travel day a lot easier by having all this stuff packed up a day ahead of time.
Yep, makes it easier.
All right, well, thank you for joining us in our family life within the RV. Reminding you that life happens. Don't let it stop you.
Yes.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.